Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking. All right, so shout out to everybody who is in the building early. It is good to see each and every one of you. If you can hear me okay and everything looks and sounds good on the screen, please give me a thumbs up or a radiation emoji in the chat. If you cannot hear me and things look and sound bad, please give me a thumbs down or an angry face. While you guys are doing that, I'm going to shout out everybody who is in the building early. All right, shout out to Katsy, shout out to Carlton Way, and shout out to everyone else who is hate watching and has not said anything yet. It is good to see each and every one of you, especially the hate watchers, because we are talking about you. Make no mistake, all right? So either defend yourself or be taken down defenseless, all right? So we're going to talk about the title today. Be an elitist. Stay away from pollen, poverty, peasants, and poor people. If you guys would agree that this is good advice that will keep you alive, help you survive, and make your business thrive, give me a thumbs up. If you disagree and you think this is in some way not fair or somehow bad to talk about people in this way, then give me a thumbs down. Shout out to Jesse. What's good with it, bro? We are going to talk about some things, all right? We're going to talk about some things. And we're going to talk about the reason why certain people tend to protect human trash. All right. People could have a safe full of gold and they could have a dumpster full of garbage. And there's certain people on the planet that would just crash out to protect the garbage and allow the gold to be taken by other people. Now, here's my question. Why are people like that? Why are people like that? Well, honestly, we don't need to know why people are like that. The only thing that we need to be able to do is identify people like that and make sure we either keep them away from us or eliminate them so that they can't get too close. And like they say at the zoo, don't feed the animals, right? One of these animals happens to be a Miami-Dade sheriff, all right? Miami-Dade Sheriff Office deputy charged with receipt and production of child sexual abuse material, DOJ says. All right. A Miami-Dade Sheriff Office deputy was arrested on Wednesday on federal charges of receiving and producing visual depictions involving the sexual exploitation of minors, the U.S. Department of Justice announced. The complaint against 51-year-old Carly Miranda Blum alleges that she received multiple videos and images of a 17-year-old victim engaged in sexually explicit conduct, according to the DOJ. In spring of 2025, Blum is accused of traveling to Atlanta, Georgia, where, according to federal officials, she recorded videos of herself engaging in sex acts with the minor. Okay. This deputy faces stiff penalties. The charges carry significant prison sentences. The production charge alone carries a mandatory minimum of 15 years and up to 30 years in prison, while the receipt charge carries a mandatory minimum of 5 years and up to 20 years in prison, the DOJ noted. Now, let me ask you guys this question. What should happen to this sheriff? You know, this sheriff is quote unquote one of the laws, right? The sheriff is one of the laws. So how should the laws apply to the laws is the question. Shout out to AB. And this is one of the reasons I don't mess with law enforcement. All right. MDSO, sheriff responds. Miami-Dade Sheriff Rosie Cordero Stutz released a statement on Wednesday afternoon regarding Blum's arrest, expressing deep concern. I'm very disturbed by the arrest of one of our deputies on charges related to receipt and production of visual depictions involving the sexual exploitation of minors. These allegations are not only criminal, they are a betrayal of the badge, the public trust, and the oath we swear to uphold. Now, let me ask you guys this question. How often do you see the laws upholding the laws? Shout out to AB. It's all your fault, bro. It's all your fault. Shout out to Catsy. I don't disagree with that. Catsy says, I like wood chippers. If you guys agree with Catsy, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. I'm with that. I'm definitely with that. The actions alleged stand in direct opposition of everything we represent as law enforcement officers and human beings. Now, how many times have you guys heard this? If you're not familiar, you can go watch the channels called The Laws, and we have multiple times that the police say this, right? We have assisted our federal partners throughout this investigation, and I remain committed to full transparency and accountability, no matter who is involved. Yeah. If that was the case, they would have got this person up out of the paint a long time ago. Right? If that was the case, they would have got this person out of the paint a long time ago. Now, what this article didn't say is that this deputy here, all right, this deputy actually threatened to kill the minor. Okay. The deputy actually threatened to kill the minor. So let's take a look at how all of that transpired. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Now, this deputy here is right in Florida. All right. If you guys think that this deputy should go to Alligator Alcatraz, throw an alligator in the chat. If you don't, then give me a thumbs down.
Well, looking at that indictment we just got in this morning, the investigators seem to have uncovered months of communication between the 51-year-old female deputy and this then 17-year-old girl. We are told that those videos include the deputy performing sex acts on the then minor. The sheriff here at Miami-Dade saying she is disturbed by all of it. After several years of serving in Miami-Dade law enforcement, this deputy, Carly Miranda Blum, is now relieved of her duty and in federal custody, charged with receipt and production of child sex abuse material involving a 17-year-old. In the indictment of the 51-year-old woman, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Florida says Blum traveled to Atlanta, Georgia to meet up with the teen last year. Investigators say they found videos on the teen's iPad of Blum performing sex acts on the minor uploaded in October of 2024.
Hey, shout out to Catsy. Hey, I agree with Catsy. I think that this individual needs to go to Alligator Alcatraz. I'm surprised that wasn't a popular option.
They also connected Blum to an Instagram account with a long message history with the teenage victim, where they exchanged sexual pictures and videos through June and July of this year. The Miami-Dade sheriff says they've helped in this investigation, confirming Blum was on duty and working on the day she received some of those messages. On the minor's iPad, turned over by a, quote, witness who shares the device with the young girl, federal investigators say they found an album documenting threatening messages allegedly sent by Blum when the teen tried to end their relationship. The witness coming forward now over concerns about the teen's mental...
Hey, look at these messages. Look at these messages. These are some psycho messages. This is from the sender is the sheriff. We are never done. Leave me and see what happens. She's saying some wild stuff. She's saying some wild stuff. Now, I want to ask you guys this question. Where's the video from your favorite YouTubers covering this chick? Huh?
The witness coming forward now over concerns about the teen's mental health. Their tip prompted a long search of Blum's house and homestead this week, and now she is in custody. The Miami-Dade County Sheriff says these allegations are not only criminal, but, quote, a betrayal of the badge, the public trust, and the oath we swear to uphold.
Start CPR if you know.
She says they stand in direct opposition to everything we represent as law enforcement officers and as human beings.
I disagree. Shout out to DJ Elmo. These actions alleged stand in direct concurrence to everything law enforcement officers represent as human beings. Okay?
And if convicted on these charges, Deputy Blum could face a maximum of 50 years in federal prison. Live in Doral this afternoon, Jackie Pascal, local.
So she could face 50 years in prison for being disgusting. Okay? 50 years in prison. Now, she might face 50 years in prison, but whoever this minor is that this individual took advantage of is going to have to deal with a lifetime of damage. Now, I want to ask you guys this question. By the logic that we usually deal with, the minor, right, should just get over it and not act like a victim, right? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. Because you can't hold on to something bad that happened to you forever, right? Now, this is the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Instagram account. And as you guys can see, her people made her great. Her people have provided her with more followers on Instagram than my people have provided me with YouTube content, with YouTube subscribers. And I've never done anything like this ever. And I've definitely never kissed a dog in a profile picture or ever at all. Okay? So I just want you guys to pay very close attention to how society values her versus how my society values me.
Disturbing new details in the arrest of a Miami-Dade Sheriff's deputy. She is accused of sexually abusing a teenager. In one of the videos the FBI obtained, the deputy is violently choking the teen. CBS News Miami's Morgan Reiner is live in Oliver Beach. Morgan, that's where you spoke to the sheriff.
Yeah, the FBI uncovered messages between the deputy and this teenager. And in these messages, it indicates that the deputy knew she was in a sexual relationship with a minor, counting down the days until the minor turned 18 years old and promising to marry her. Now, this complaint is in.
So they really had some heavy stuff going on. Shout out to Jesse. Jesse said, damn shame, Rob. Maybe. Maybe. Maybe not. But regardless, that's what the current situation is, right?
Incredibly disturbing. So disturbing, we can't even say a lot of it on TV.
There's no mugshot of 51-year-old Carly Miranda Blum as of right now, but this is body camera footage of the 29-year veteran from a separate arrest in 2022.
I'm very disturbed by the arrest of one of our deputies.
The federal complaint says on the victim's phone there are videos of several different sexual acts taken in Atlanta. In one video uploaded in October 2024, it shows Blum violently choking the teen.
This kind of behavior is unacceptable. It tarnishes.
Now, here's my question. Why is there a video on the phone of this woman violently choking this teenager? Why is there a video of this? Why are they keeping video documentation of this? And shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell, and also please share the stream to your social media. Now, shout out to Carlton, because I know Carlton is watching. He's lurking in the comment section. We gotta ask the question. The poor people love tea. The poor people have loved tea since going back to the days of the great American, because everybody prides himself on being an American these days, Boston Tea Party. Right? Now, let me ask you guys this question. Why don't people like the tea when it comes to the tea of their neighbors? Because this is the tea of your neighbors. Right?
Is our badge.
The complaint says the deputy and the victim communicated over social media. This is the TikTok account listed in the complaint. It has a photo of Blum in her MDSO deputy unit.
Now, let's just ask this question, right? Because we got to ask the question. How many people think that she should get arrested simply for this picture? I think that she should get arrested for this picture because this is a clear display of passionate expression towards an animal, also known as bestiality. And last time I checked, that was illegal. So I need people, shout out to Sybil, I need people to explain to me, why is this woman kissing a dog? And if you're kissing a dog, does that imply that you'd be sexually inappropriate with a human being? If you ask me, humans are machines. human programming and human behavior are inescapable as a result of the human machine and the human animal, it would lead me to believe if she's comfortable taking a still photo with this type of degeneracy going on, you can only imagine what goes on where you're not able to view it publicly. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down.
Uniform and 15,000 followers. In screenshots of their conversations, the complaint says the deputy expresses her
15,000 followers, man. 15,000 followers. If I tongue-tied with a dog, would I be worth 15,000 followers, people? If that's the case, I hate to disappoint you, but I guess I'm just going to stay where I'm at because I'm never going to do that for you guys. But I'm just curious. Just curious.
Conversations, the complaint says the deputy expresses her sexual desires of the teen, and the two exchange explicit photos and videos. In one conversation where the victim says she wants to leave Blum, the complaint says Blum threatened to slowly kill the victim if she did so.
Hey, shout out to Katsy. Katsy said, I wouldn't follow you if you did. But listen, the dog kisser has 15,000 subscribers. I've tried to help people improve their wealth situation. I alert people to criminals who are clowns. I do videos about degenerate police officers. Everybody has such an issue with degenerate police officers. It's not enough for the people. Hey, shout out to AV Promotions. Shout out to AV Promotions. AV Promotions says, Rob, no worries. The CAGR of 0.01 will certainly make up for the people not making you great. We could talk about it on This Was Sent to Me. Hey, I'm down. I'm down. Let's talk about this guy right here, shall we? Let's talk about ancient spirits of evil.
Ancient spirits of evil, transform this decayed form to Mum-Ra, the ever-living!
Does anybody know what his weakness was? What was his weakness? He would be just about to take down Lion-O and the Thundercats, and then something would happen. What was his weakness? Huh? Somebody let me know what his weakness is.
I am very disturbed by the incident as it occurred, whether it's as a citizen, as a mother, but even more so as a law enforcement officer. We need to hold ourselves to a very high standards.
Last week, the teenager was Baker acted for a psychiatric evaluation. This week, investigators say Blum drove up to Atlanta to be there when the teen was released from the hospital.
The deputy was arrested in the state of Georgia by the FBI, so my understanding is that she is still currently in the state of Georgia. Once they move her from there is when we will take our next steps. The immediate will be a relief of duty, which will happen shortly upon the processing.
Now, just the one charge of recording a sexual encounter with a minor is a minimum 15 years in prison, up to 30 years in prison. I'm live in Hollywood, Morgan Reiner, CBS News.
Now, let me ask you guys this question. What do you all think is going to happen to that deputy? What do you guys think is going to happen to that deputy? Somebody let me know. Somebody let me know what you think is going to happen to that deputy. Now, there was a gas station shooting. Can you guys take a wild guess where it was? Could have been anywhere, right? Could have been anywhere, right? And make sure that you guys pay attention to these places, right? Make sure you guys pay attention to where all of these crimes take places so that you don't happen to drive through there when you become crypto rich. Now, let me ask you this. Why would it make sense to avoid these places?
A woman was slapped by a man panhandling at an Oak.
Now, here's my question. Carlton's going to love this one. Carlton's going to love this one. Shout out to Beastmark Financial. Is it safe to say that a lot of these places are quote unquote inverse sundown towns? Huh? Are they inverse sundown towns? Are these degenerate, dim-witted dummies mimicking people and creating similar conditions to the conditions that people faced long time ago? You ask me, they look kind of similar. They have very similar results. They have very similar results. Why are people out here creating inverse sundown towns? That's my question. Are they that proud to be American? Now, we talked about assimilation and acculturation yesterday. And it seems to me that people have fully assimilated and fully acculturated. And you can tell that they've fully assimilated and fully acculturated by absorbing the majority's sentiment into their own psyche and exerting that sentiment against the people that the majority had this sentiment for. Now, here's my question. How stupid are you? You know what I'm saying? How stupid are you? Shout out to Lunch. What's good with it, bro? How stupid are you to do something like that? No, that's what they do. That's what they do. It should never be an expectation for people to do anything intelligent or sensible, okay?
Cliff QT. She fought with him. She left, returning with a gun and shot that man multiple times. He survived, and she is being sought by Dallas police. Fox 4 Sean Rabb has...
Now, mind you, this is a woman that did this. A woman did this. Now, mind you, I don't know if we could say that it was self-defense because there was an incident that happened. She got hands put on her. She left and came back. Now, had she had done this when the hands got put on her, maybe it could be self-defense. But she left and came back because of last word culture. Let me ask y'all this question. What is last word culture? Can anybody tell me what last word culture is?
The video that tells the story in this week's Trackdown.
We are in Oak Cliff. This is the QT at Ann Arbor at 35 South. Right here with me, Detective Michael Bowie. Detective, what happened here like early morning, June 30th?
Yes, sir. On the June 30th, early in the morning, about 3:52 a.m., we have a victim here, and he have an verbal altercation with a female suspect. During the argument, the victim reached out and slapped the female suspect one time. They got into physical altercation. After that, they separate their way. The female suspect.
Now, what was going on at a gas station? And again, here's my question. When you all become crypto millionaires, how many of you all will get caught at this gas station? Taking it back, right? Taking it back to the title of the last video. What does this do for business? What does this do for business? I would rather not do business with people like this because if I have people like this loitering at my business, eventually my business is going to get shut down because people are going to blame me and say, well, if my business wasn't there, this wouldn't have happened. And then when my business is gone, these very same people will be saying, this is a gas desert. We don't got access to gas. But if a gas station is there, well, the gas station owner needs to do more about loitering. No, we're just going to starve the area out of money. We're just going to starve the gas station out of money. Okay?
reach out and slap the female suspect. One time, they got into physical altercation. After that, they separate their way. The female suspect left, but she returned about 20 minutes later. And then when she returned, the victim is still here at the gas pump. She was looking for him. When she found him, she chased him down and started fire several times at him. The victim ran and he fell down. That's when she caught up to him. When she fired another 3 rounds and striking him in the right leg.
I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but she was very close to this dude. And she's missing. Now, do you see how kids get hit so many times? Do you guys see how innocent bystanders get hit so many times? Again, right? How many times have I said it? They can't even do crime right. I mean, you don't really have to say anything too degrading. Look at this. How do you miss that close? This is like missing a layup. She missed multiple layups.
The victim is still here at the gas pump. She was looking for him. When she found him, she chased him down and started fire several times at him. The victim ran and he fell down. That's when she caught up to him. When she fired another 3 rounds and striking him in the right leg.
Hey, shout out to Carlton. This from what I understand, this detective's last name is Satoshi. Hey, shout out to Lunch. If you guys agree with Lunch, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Lunch says, is last word culture when it's not over until you've gotten the last word? I would say that last word culture is when the last word or the perceived last word is the highest prioritized item in the situation. Not so much necessarily winning or not so much necessarily making a point, but if you said the last word, in your mind, you believe that you've scored some type of victory. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would say. What do you guys think?
Why was he still here some 20 minutes later?
I believe the victim was here. He asked people for the gas money. We have a very good video of the female suspect prior to the shooting. She went inside the store.
That what y'all think about that? What y'all think about that? Gynomastia.
To pay for her gas.
Tell me about her, what you see on tape.
She's a black female, about 5'4". She's about 130 pounds. She have a
Man, how are you 130 pounds shaped like this? How are you 130 pounds shaped like that? Shout out to Carlton. Carlton says, try not to be at a gas station for no more than 5 minutes. I'm going to start looking into buying electric only cars. I'm going to look into buying electric only cars because I don't want to be amongst gas station trash. These are human cockroaches. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. This is definitely a cockroach, right? And she uses the front part, the slit in the front of the Fruit of the Loom boxers for the cock part.
female, about 5'4". She's about 130 pounds. She have a short hair. She about late 20s, early 30s. We believe that she's driving a black Nissan. We don't know is it Altima or Sentra.
Let me ask you, sir, is the video clear enough where if you know her, you know her?
Yes, sir. The video was so clear, and if you see it, you will know who she is.
What do you need, Detective Michael Bowie?
What I need is somebody know her or somebody saw her. Give me a call. They can reach me at 214-671-3538.
Now, nobody call this number until we find out how much she's worth. We got to find out how much she's worth. we're not calling any phone numbers unless the minimum is 1/10 of a Bitcoin worth of reward money. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. In order for us to participate and cooperate in any trash collection, the reward has to, at the minimum, be 1/10 of a Bitcoin, regardless what the price of 1/10 of a Bitcoin is. It's a fixed 1/10 of a Bitcoin. Okay.
Or you can reach me at my email, michael.bowie@dallaspolice.gov. I want to have my victim to have a justice.
Who is she? Recognize her. Get at Detective Michael Bowie. Help find the woman who opened fire at this QT in the early morning hours, June 30th.
And you can also watch past trackdown stories and maybe help solve a crime. Go to the Fox 4 YouTube page, youtube.com/Fox 4 News.
Now, let me ask you guys this question. How many of you all think that this woman, she probably doesn't even know that they're looking for her? How many of you, if you guys think that she knows that they're looking for her, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't think that she knows that they're looking for her, then give me a thumbs down. Now, as you guys can tell by my YouTube channels, by my YouTube career, and by what happens to people like Nipsey Hussle and Tupac, your people won't make you great, but your people will make you dead. And then fake cry about how much they miss you when they did nothing to protect you. But somehow you're supposed to believe that they care if you're gone or not, right? There's a rapper in Jacksonville, Florida. Okay. This rapper, imagine this, is on trial for the deletion of another rapper. Didn't we just talk about a local rapper in Wisconsin that got deleted? And this guy seemed to be pretty decent. The news didn't even really dig up any dirt on him. They got him up out of the paint. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Was it a record company that deleted him? Was it a record label that deleted him? Let's ask the question about Nipsey Hussle. Was it a record label that deleted Nipsey Hussle? Was it the laws that deleted Nipsey Hussle? Who deleted these people, ladies and gentlemen?
Attorneys handling the case of 2 men accused of killing a local rapper over a diss track just finished giving jurors their opening statements. Charles McCormick Jr., better known as Lil Buck, was shot and killed in 2020.
Over a diss track. Oh, I can't handle it. He deleted me with the bars, so I'm going to delete him with the hammer. He got barred up. He got barred up and couldn't handle it. After he got barred up and couldn't handle it, he said, pick up the hammer. Pick up the hammer. Stop. Hammer time. Emotional damage. You think mama said, don't let that boy talk about you like that? You think mama said, don't let that boy talk about you like that? If y'all think mama said, don't let that boy talk about you like that, give me a thumbs up. If you don't think mama said, don't let that boy talk about you like that, then let me know how a diss track leads to you getting deleted.
Attorneys handling the case of 2 men accused of killing a local rapper over a diss track just finished giving jurors their opening statements. Charles McCormick Jr., better known as Lil Buck, was shot and killed in 2020 in what investigators believe was a gang-related attack right outside of an Arlington shopping center. Action News Jack's Madison Foglio is live outside of the Duval County Courthouse, and the opening statements just wrapped up. And Madison, the defense attorneys for both men showed similar strategies, you noticed.
Yeah, Tanika, the defense attorneys both argued to the jury that the prosecutor
right, shout out to AV, because yeah, we about to stop your life. It's hammer time. Right, because we all know that one of the least, let me ask you guys this, according to market behavior, according to retail behavior, we clearly see what one of the least valuable assets is on the market. I mean, look at all these people that just get deleted and all these, you know what I'm saying, all these people that get born. When there's a large supply of something, does it increase the value or decrease the value? There's a large supply of these people, right? So what happens to the value? They're the ones that make the price, right? They're the ones that make the price.
evidence that they're going to be presenting to them in the future is a result of plea deals reached by others associated with this case. And they just urge the jury to keep that in mind as the trial goes on. The trial for the 2020 murder of Charles McCormick Jr. is officially underway. Hakeem Robinson.
Now, here's my question. And we got to ask this question. Who made this individual do this? Because remember, somebody is always made to do something. Somebody's always tricked into doing something. Who made anybody do this? Who tricked anybody into doing what? Somebody let me know. Somebody help me out here.
Better known as Queso and Leroy Whitaker are being tried together with separate juries. Robinson is charged with first-degree murder as a criminal gang member, and Whitaker is charged with first-degree murder as a criminal gang member, burglary with assault or battery.
Now, let me ask you guys this question. How many baby moms do you guys think these guys had? Do you guys think that any female told these dudes no when it was time to get fucked? That's my question. These dudes are probably fucking everybody. You know how when people start saying things politically that people don't like, they ask the question, well, what kind of woman are you fucking? Are you a passport bro? Are you with a non-black woman? Since that's the determinant of certain actions, I think that the opposite question should be asked as the determinant of other questions. Because if we're using the type of pussy that you're in as a determinant of your behavior, well, let's examine that fully. Fair? Is that fair? Clarence Thomas a little bit off code. His wife is white. Okay, we don't need to pay attention to anything that Clarence Thomas says anymore because somehow when you go into a certain vagina, the color washes off of you. Okay, well, what about the type of vagina that these dudes are in? Shout out to Jesse. Fair. I think it's fair. Maybe it's not. A lot of times, it seems like when I play, I don't play fair. But I think I play extremely fair. What do you guys think? What do these guys' kids look like? Brandon Johnson says it all the time, right? You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, this is never my argument, right? This is never my argument. But this is the YouTube argument. So we have to adjust for conditions. So what do Hakeem Robinson's kids look like? What do this guy's kids look like? Shout out to Carlton. Carlton said they look like they look like they look like Shout out to Lunch. Lunch says sometimes the legs get open even quicker for dudes like that. How you pass down intelligence and good quality? If the legs is opening up like a garage for this. So now here's my question. Where does that take the conversation? What does that do? What does that say? Because it has to, if it says something in the other direction, it has to say something in this direction, right? So what does it say? I don't know what it says because these aren't my arguments. These are simply data points. Shout out to AB. AB says people who have dim-witted spirits attract dim-witted partners. I wouldn't disagree. I wouldn't disagree. Let me ask you guys this question. How many people think that Umar Johnson would be proud of these individuals' choice in family manufacture? Well, shout out to Carlton. Carlton says, sad part is the kids may follow in their footsteps. If you have a history of heart attacks by the age of 49 in your family, when you have a child, what usually happens to that child at age 49? Shout out to Catsy. Catsy said, "Is that why I'm still single?" It might have something to do with the name. It might have something to do with Catsy. Shout out to Jesse. Jesse said he would be proud. Yeah, he would be proud. I wouldn't disagree. Now, here's my question though: proud of what? Because these guys deleted a black man. So, if Umar Johnson would be proud of these individuals, it shows the prioritization of what's more important than a black male life. Because they took out a black male. So that doesn't matter. Shout out to Alonzo. What's good with it, bro? So as long as everyone understands.
With separate juries. Robinson is charged with first-degree murder as a criminal gang member, and Whitaker is charged with first-degree murder as a criminal gang member, burglary with assault or battery, and home invasion robbery. Both Robinson and Whitaker are alleged to be part of the ATK gang. Investigators allege that Robinson and Whitaker sought to kill McCormick Jr. because he made a rap song that dissed the late rapper Willie Addison, who is also Robinson's half-brother.
Tea time. Now, let me ask you guys this question. How many people are outraged about this? Did The Root do an article about this? Did CNN talk about this? Is Joy Reid going to talk about how just upset she is that this happened and the individual had a bright future? Shout out to Carlton. Carlton said Umar never said anything about a functional black family, just a black family. I mean, social media has revealed that his clearly aren't functional, so he can't really chest beat for that. Be kind of strange, right? That would be like me saying, make sure that you buy all this Bitcoin, and then come to find out there's no Satoshis in my wallet. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's my question. Why doesn't anybody say anything about that? Let me ask you guys this question. How many women do you think told these two individuals no, is my question.
In opening statements, both Robinson and Whitaker's attorneys alluded that the state's evidence in this case came as a result of plea deals.
So now here's my question. If these two degenerates have first access to women, what kind of offspring are they producing? Are they producing future brain surgeons? Yeah, if the surgery is going to be done with bullets, more than likely, yeah, they're going to have a lot of brain surgeons. But it's not going to be anybody that has any official neurosurgery training. You know what I'm saying?
It's first time cooperating with law enforcement. He's done that before, so he has experience. He knows that when he's in trouble and he is caught, if I say what the government wants to hear, I get out. He's done it before, and he's going to do it again in this courtroom.
What you're going to learn is that Dominic Barner came in on January 15th, and he told just enough about himself to get him off his case. So let him go.
During the prosecution's opening statements, Assistant State Attorney Joel Cooper said that the evidence will show the motivation behind the murder.
This was a group of individuals who knew one another, were close to one another, that were family. Every single one of them that participated in this crime were members of ATK.
Somebody throw the coon emoji in the chat for me, because clearly what I'm doing is worse than these people. Tell me how much of don't be shy. Put batteries in my back. Put batteries in my back. 9-volt, AAA. Tell me how much of a coon I am. Now, let me ask you guys this question. How many people end up deleted as a result of any live stream that I've ever posted online? Yeah, shout out to AB. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Jesse. Yeah. Shout out to Carlton. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Strange animals, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Anybody gonna say anything about this? Anybody gonna address this? Nah. Stay quiet about it. Don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Keep your mouth shut. Shut up. Shh. Quiet. And don't help anybody find out who did this either. Because if you help figure out who deleted this black man, something's wrong with you.
Local rap group. All but one of them were related by blood.
All but one of them were related by blood. Let me ask you guys this question. What does that say about how, quote unquote, these people value life? Shout out to Lunch. Don't do it. Don't do it, Lunch. I don't want to see you on Crimecast. Don't do it. Please don't do it. And look, everybody in the chat say, Lunch, don't do it. We don't want him. We only want you in the comment section on Crimecast, Lunch. We don't want to have you as one of the segments. You know what I'm saying?
Were members of ATK, a local rap group. All but one of them were related by blood.
And Ben and Tanika, and it's important to note that Blue is Abdul Robinson Sr., the father of Hakeem Robinson, and he's charged in this case with accessory after the fact. I'll go into more details on that tomorrow because
now shout out to Carlton, because Carlton mentioned generational crime. And here's an example. Generational crime. I think they should start doing these type of assessments at doctor's appointments. Is your father or mother a criminal? Here's the situation where the whole family is in one case. The father is charged. They had like a little diagram here of the people involved. This guy right here, Blue. See all the Robinson last names? Abdul Robinson, Pat. Hakeem Robinson, Junie. Now, if we did a medical history on Abdul Robinson and we saw Hakeem Robinson was the son, is this guy prone to cardiovascular disease, kidney failure, diabetes, and crime? Well, the father's a criminal. Yeah, the father's a criminal. You know what I'm saying?
And Ben and Tanika, and it's important to note that Blue is Abdul Robinson Sr., the father of Hakeem Robinson. He's charged in this case with accessory after the fact. I'll go into more details on that tomorrow because our coverage continues at 9 a.m. right here on Action News Jackson. The testimonies just got started, and again, it's around 6 o'clock right now, so they just wrapped up. So we'll be right back here tomorrow.
Attorney.
Okay. So what now? What about that? Shout out to Carlton. Make sure you guys show Carlton some love. Carlton been, you know what I'm saying, taking care of us with the submissions and the content and all of that. Yesterday we talked about the Thoya Thong. We talked about the Thoya Thong distraction. This is interesting. 7-Eleven owner plays loud classical music to deter homeless people from hanging out. Carlton put this into the Discord. This is from a couple years ago. This is from 2 years ago. Okay. Now, at this 7-Eleven location, they put classical music out to deter people from coming around there. Let me ask you guys this question. What do you guys think would have happened if they placed a perimeter of math books around the 7-Eleven? What do you guys think would have happened? That would just decimate all criminal activity. I think it would be completely crime-free. Completely crime-free. Here's an even better question. What if you made it where you had to calculate your own change? No cash registers allowed. You only allowed to do pencil and paper and mental math. The crime rate would go down to 0 instantly. If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down.
As classical music plays, this area is emptier than
Shout out to Rain King.
Now they had this music going on. We have less traffic now with the homeless out here.
Store owner Jagat Patel has been.
I mean, the music that's supposed to, like, this music, classical music, supposed to be calming. It's supposed to calm you down and relax you. It's completely deterred people from coming there. It's completely deterred people from coming there. Like if you ever watch any of those channels or put on any of the like frequency music channels on YouTube, a lot of it is, you know, Bach, Beethoven, Mozart. Supposed to create a calming, relaxing environment. It completely wiped out criminal activity here. That's interesting.
As classical music plays, this area is emptier than usual.
And now since they have this music going on, we have less traffic down with the homeless out here.
Store owner Jagat Patel has been playing music 24/7 to deter homeless people from being in the area, which he says is a big problem.
Especially a lot of my female customers and my young.
Shout out to Carlton. Carlton said, I like classical music. I like classical music, and I like silverware that's actually made out of silver. You know what I'm saying? I like silverware that's actually made out of precious metal that on the back of the container, you have a sticker of authenticity on it. You know what I'm saying? And I like to eat high-end food while listening to this type of stuff. Like, anytime I hear the first thing I think about is, let me check and see what's going on crypto.com. Am I there yet?
Customers are scared to come here because there are people constantly hanging around in the parking lot soliciting for money.
Now, let me, okay, Now, this takes us back to the title that we had yesterday, right? This takes us back to the title that we had yesterday. The title that we had yesterday was, what does crime do to your business, right? So, you know, we have people that have this mystery, this conundrum. I don't know why we broke. 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 Hey, listen, man. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe it might be better that this dude owns the 7-Eleven because his business can get destroyed. Imagine if you own the 7-Eleven. How many people would be happy if you own the 7-Eleven? Now, me personally, if I own this business here, I would get in trouble for human rights violations because I would have shock collars. I would have remotes that detonate certain gas pumps if people were there. People getting taken out to paint, you mess my business up. You mess my business up, my business ain't getting anything anyway. You know what I'm saying? When they see an explosion and your arm land a couple yards from your body, you know what I'm saying? People will know, don't play around at this gas station, because that's the only language that these people understand. That's the only language that these people understand. You know what I'm saying? What does that do if you have human vermin loitering around the front of your business? Does that make a welcoming commerce environment, or does that make an unwelcoming commerce environment? Which one?
Soliciting for money.
He tells us he's had to pay a professional to clean up needles. Others who work nearby say they've been attacked.
So I had to carry this big old knife with me just to defend myself. And I mean, it's sad that you have to do that.
Imagine living in a place where you have to carry a zombie knife just to get a slushie. Imagine that. Who wants to live in those kind of conditions? If people don't want to live in those kind of conditions, why do people create those kind of conditions for themselves? And then when there's an issue, they protect the criminal. Why? Do you want somebody all up in your face with their breath smelling like hooch, talking about, can I get $1? No, you can get the hell out of my face. When people do this to me, I growl at them. Hey, brother, you got $1. And I show my teeth. Oh, my bad. You're an animal, so I respond like an animal. Because you don't understand, no, but you do understand growling and what teeth will do. It shouldn't have to be like that.
I mean, it's sad that you have to do that.
Patel says he started playing the music about 10 days ago and got the idea because other store.
Yeah, I get on my DMX. Real quick. Hey, young blood. You have a blessed day. You have a blessed day, young brother. You got to hit him with that snort. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you want to act like an animal? All right. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Thank goodness Brooklyn Queen survived the subway, because you see people fall asleep on the subway, get set on fire. They turn them into Johnny Blaze. You know what I'm saying?
Owners have done it.
Studies have shown that the classical music is annoying, opera is annoying, and I'm assuming that's correct because it's working.
Some people think it's a good thing.
It's helping out. It's not annoying to us because they don't bother us, but it bothers probably them because they're doing the drugs. That's the right solution.
But others think the opposite.
No, I believe it. Just talk to them and ask them not to hang around or not to.
They don't understand. No, you can't talk to these people. Let me ask you guys this question. Do these people understand being asked anything nicely? Just talk to them. Maybe they'll go away. Just talk to them. If they understood, why do we still have videos and news about this type of stuff coming out years later? Shout out to AB. AB says, most times bums don't even ask me for money. I just give them a look. Yeah. Most times I don't get approached, but there is the one or two times when I will get approached and you have to act a complete fool. I'm going to act a complete fool. You know what I'm saying? Your entire purpose of being here is complete foolery. So don't get weird if I act a complete fool. This is your life daily. I'm only doing this for the brief moment that we interact. You know what I'm saying? And then what's crazy about it, when you act like that towards one of these people, the people at the store look at you like you're crazy. I always get looked at by the people at the store like I did something wrong. I'm coming in there with my own money, and I'm not asking anybody for money. But because I want to preserve my wealth that I just busted my ass for, and I tell somebody, get the hell out of my face, somehow I become the bad guy. Hey, I embrace becoming the bad guy. If it's like that and you got a problem with me, get the fuck out of my way. I'm going up to the front of the line then too, bitch. Right? You want to look at me like I'm doing something wrong? I'm going to get all the way wrong on your ass. Get the fuck out of my way. I got to go back to work. I'm in front of the line now. What?
Live around whatever. I think that's the best solution.
Frederick Carter says he started going to a different 7-Eleven that doesn't have music.
This music is not really good. I mean, it's loud. It's obnoxious to me. I don't like it. You can hear it a long ways off, you know. It's very disturbing.
For now, the music will stay.
We are in the process of turning it down because people who live across the parking lot are also my customers, and we don't want to make their life difficult.
He says something needs to be done about an encampment at an abandoned building next door.
It's becoming a
human vermin. Human vermin, ladies and gentlemen. These are human beings that follow the same migration and feeding patterns as rats.
Huge headache to conduct business, and a lot of my customers are scared.
Conduct business. Conduct business. Pay very close attention to the conduct business part. Now, here's my question, right? Now, listen, and this is a fair question. This is a fair question. A lot of people, right, in the Trumpian 2.0 era, seemingly have issues with migrants. Okay. Fair enough. Now, what would it look like if the people of these communities owned these businesses? I guarantee you, the same way we see the old people do it, a lot of people would change course very quickly on their anti-police rhetoric. Now, here's my question. Why would they do that?
To conduct business, and a lot of my customers are scared.
And across the street, we heard some competing music.
Across the street, they heard some competing music. What kind of music do you think that it was competing across the street? Shout out to Carlton. Carlton sent us some more information about people using frequency warfare against ghouls. All right, so let's take a look at the frequency warfare against ghouls this ghoul repellent technology was issued 5 years ago at an apartment complex called the quote-unquote Mosquito. Now, knowing what mosquitoes do, I don't know if I would necessarily go move into a place called the Mosquito, but some people did.
A local apartment complex now using a unique way to fight crime. Vistula management now uses high frequencies outside its North Toledo apartment complex. But neighbors we talked with aren't too happy about it. Photojournalist Joe Cromer has their story.
But they're more happy about the crime. They're more happy about the crime. Turn that shit off. This music is being played to attempt to keep criminals away, and the people don't like the music. Now, here's my question: what should happen in these situations? They should let the crimes rocket all the way to the ceiling, if you ask me, if that's the case. What the business owners they should sell their businesses and let the crime skyrocket all the way up to just astronomical numbers. Tank the value of the area so that it's no longer livable, and gut everything and put a corporate park there. Put businesses there. Now, here's my question. What are the people of this area doing to help deter crime and to help not produce criminals? That's my question.
A local apartment complex now using a unique way to fight crime. Vistula management now uses high frequencies outside its North Toledo apartment complex. But neighbors we talked with aren't too happy about it. Photojournalist Joe Cromer has their story.
Never heard of this. I never heard of this even happening like in a prison.
It's happening all over the place, and he never heard of it. So I want you guys to pay very close attention. Do you guys know how when people are cornered and the first thing that they say is they never heard of something? You not hearing about something is not the end all be all, whether it's true or not. We just looked at 3 situations where they're doing this, and his response to this was, I never heard of this. What does that tell you about this individual's exposure to reality? What does that tell you about this individual's exposure to reality? Shout out to Lunch. Lunch says they could sell their businesses, Rob, but we got to remember what place is the easiest for them to open up their businesses. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Because here goes the thing, right? People say that and people use that argument. People will say it's the easiest for them to open up businesses in XYZ location. But I've been all over the place and I see Dr. Sharma Atmar or, Dr. Ankar Hassan, Dr. Office all over the place in many different grades of neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? I've seen Shankar Patel, certified financial analyst offices in many different places, high end to low end. You know what I'm saying? So when people say it's easier for them to open their business, I would say, okay, we see a lot of gas stations and quickie marts, but last time I checked, that's not the only business that many people are restricted to. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. That's not the only thing that a lot of people do. A lot of people do a lot of other types of businesses. And if you're in an area where it's concentrated, where foreign people own the convenience stores, you're kind of not where you are looking at other businesses. Right? Let me ask you guys this question. When is the last time a person saw an American doctor, whether white or black, at a hospital? Now, it's more difficult. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's more difficult to be a doctor at a quickie mart than it is at a hospital, right? So my thing is with these type of these are things that people say, and the disappointing part about these talking points is that these talking points in many cases come from people who have no long-term track record of opening and getting businesses shut down in these particular areas. You know what I'm saying? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down.
It's like this sound goes on for continuously 24 hours. I heard it for 8 months now. It's crazy.
You think that's your alarm clock? Cause it just do that all day, whining. It's called a mosquito, man. This is a crowd control. They don't want drug dealers and all that, so that's why they got one on this building. They got one around on the 629 building. They doing it so people don't just be sitting out front of the houses.
I mean, is that a is that a bad thing? is that a bad thing? Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask y'all this question. Is this a bad thing? Let me ask you guys this question. How many unarmed black people has high frequency sound ever deleted? Can anybody give me a number on that? Somebody give me a number on that. Classical music and high frequency sound. How many unarmed black people have classical music and high frequency sound taken the life of? Let me know.
One on this building, they got one around on the 629 building. They doing it so people don't just be sitting out front of the houses. You can leave right now, you can come back 2 days later, it's still the same people gonna be going.
Now, here goes the thing, right? If these people were innovative, because I don't want to be too derogatory, right? If these people were innovative, all they would do would just be put on earbuds and write everything down and just show each other the piece of paper or just text message each other. Like, you can still do, you know what I'm saying? Just put your earbuds on and use nonverbal communication. Right? I mean, like, boom, problem solved. It don't matter how long and how loud they had this stuff. You put on some JBL earphones and just, you know, do all of your business digitally. Right? Problem solved. Boom. You're not dealing with the irritation of these sounds. But you know what I'm saying? But now here's my question, right? I don't know what that says about the innovative nature of the inhabitants of these environments. What does that say? I mean, like, just that simple. You know what I'm saying? You want to block the sound out. It's irritating you that bad. Okay, just put on some earbuds and just, you know what I'm saying, find a secure text message application and just do all your business like that. Boom, problem solved. This is the type of thing, like, they hang lights to attract bugs, to make the bugs fly into an electrical field. This is that level of ease that people are using as a deterrent on other human beings. Like, man, that's wild.
The neighborhood is it's about a 9. It's very drug infested. It's gang activity. I'm not gonna lie. I'm in the middle of seeing everything, but some people don't even have nothing to do with that, but they got to deal with that sign.
Hey, do you hear this? Like, now here's what do you guys think about this?
Seeing everything, but some people don't even have nothing to do with that, but they got to deal with that sign.
What about the people that don't have anything to do with the drug deals? And they got to deal with the riffraff there. Like, do you see it? Do you see it? Like, I can't believe this dude just said that. I see it. I'm in the middle of everything. It's drug activity and gangs going on. I'm not going to lie. But people not involved with that have to deal with the sound. People not involved with that have to deal with that shit too. Look at your peers, ladies and gentlemen. How do you feel about this assessment?
It's very drug infested. It's gang activity. I'm not gonna lie. I'm in the middle of seeing everything, but some people don't even have nothing to do with that, but they got to deal with that sign.
So they shouldn't be subject to the sound or the criminal activity, right? Right? You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, throw the coon emojis in the chat because I'm a coon for pointing out this inconsistency. Not, I'm not contributing to any crime going on there. I'm not harming anybody there. But mind you, the fact that we're saying, wait a minute, my guy, what you're saying is not making any sense. You just went way off code. Look at it. Now, who would listen to somebody like that and expect anything that came out of their skull to make sense?
24 hours. I think it gives out a negative vibe for the children not to come around.
Oh my God. He said the sound gives a negative vibe for the children not to come around. Not the gang activity and the drug dealing. He said the sound makes a negative vibe. Not the fact that, yesterday we talked about a 10-year-old girl getting shot in the head. The sound. Now, I want you guys to understand. Some people are insalvageable. They're insalvageable. And this is an example. These people are insalvageable and they're dangerous. And this is why you should be an elitist and stay away from pollen, poverty, peasants, and poor people. Because this dude is literally outraged and saying that the sound will deter the children, while children, right, are becoming victims of the crimes in these type of areas. We talked about yesterday the 1-year-old boy that got hit and killed by a Kia thief, but turn the sound off though. Like what?
Don't even have nothing to do with that, but they got to deal with that sign. 24 hours. I think it gives out a negative vibe for the children not to come around. Yeah, kids stay here. It's kids that stay in this building. They don't even.
Right. It's kids that stay here. It's kids that stay in the building. So don't you think that the drugs and the gang activity is more harmful to them than the sound? Again, protect the criminal. Pro-crime culture. Now, I don't need to say anything. These YouTube disciples, all they got to do is just open up their mouths and all the stupidity just comes flowing out. It just comes flowing out.
It's kids that stay in this building. They don't even play on that side. You know where they play at? They play across the street in this church parking lot. But they don't want to hear that. The kids don't play over there.
Well, that's thank goodness, because that's where all the crime is going on. So maybe they'll have a little bit of protection playing in the church parking lot. That's good. You don't want the kids playing in a high crime area, right? Let me ask y'all this question. How many of you all want your kids playing in a high crime area? If you want your kids playing in a high crime area, put the clown emoji in the chat. If you don't want your kids playing in a high crime area, put the thumbs down in the chat.
Hey, guys, y'all hear that buzzing? Y'all hear that noise? Them kids don't need to hear that.
But they do need to see all the crime. They do need to see all the gangs and possibly get recruited into them. Thoughts?
Some of them out here said this is not right.
This is not right.
Nobody sit out there no more. So they proved their point.
Wow, it's hard to listen to even for a minute and 30 seconds. Well, Vistula management says they're always looking for ways to fight criminal activity, and the mosquito does keep people from hanging out around the complex for long periods of time.
Hey, I say keep it there and turn it up louder. If you guys agree, keep it there and turn it up louder. Give me a thumbs up. If you disagree, then give me a thumbs down. Now, let me ask you guys this question. How many of you all would rather your children grow up in an area like that? You guys want your children to grow up in an area like that? If you guys want your kids to grow up in an area like that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't, then give me a thumbs down.
Breaking news in the Ocklawaha murder case, a sentence of life in prison was just given to the second defendant, Taj Bruton. Christopher Atkins, Taj Bruton, and Robert Robinson are all charged with first-degree murder in the shooting deaths of 3 teenagers, Layla Silvernail, Michael Hodo, and Camille Quarles, and that was back in 2023.
How many people heard about this? If you guys heard about this, give me a thumbs up. If you guys did not hear about this, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to Carlton. You know that mosquito thing? I think I'm about to get one of those, and I'm gonna put it outside of my mansion. I'm gonna put it outside of my castle. What do you guys think? And I'm gonna have soundproofing inside of my castle, so when you guys come in, you won't hear it, but it'll be blaring loud as hell outside. What do you guys think about that?
TV20's Kayla Lewis joins us live outside of the Marion County Courthouse. And Kayla, it was another day of emotional testimony from the victims' loved ones. Who was in the courtroom today?
The courtroom was not as packed today as it was yesterday, but family members and friends of all 3 of the victims showed up filling one side of the courtroom, and family members of Taj Bruton filled the other. Now, the family members of the victims wore shirts again today that had the victims' pictures on them, and today was the first day we heard from Michael Hodo Jr.'s family. The day started off with Michael Hodo Jr.'s father, Michael Hodo, providing a statement. This was read by a victim advocate. He told Judge Robert Hodges anything short of a life sentence would be an injustice to the 3 victims. He wishes the death penalty was on the table, but says the justice system is flawed. Next, Hodo Jr.'s stepmom provided an emotional statement. She talked about who Hodo Jr. was and how he and Layla Silvernail completed each other. She says the 3 victims' lives were taken by greed and jealousy, saying they discarded the victims like they were trash. After hearing from Hodo Jr.'s family for the first time, Silvernail's grandma spoke for the second day in a row, breaking down in tears about the loss of her granddaughter.
I've been robbed of seeing Layla graduate, walk down the aisle, attend college, and become a mother. I have to watch her friends grow up without her. We will forever grieve.
Back in February, Bruton was sentenced to 20 years in prison, followed by 10 years of probation for an armed carjacking he committed in August of 2022. The defense called up Bruton's mother, grandpa, aunt, and grandma, who were all unaware of his criminal activity.
How are they unaware of the criminal activity? Now, here's my question. What made these 3 teenagers do this? Were they, quote unquote, tricked into doing this? Who made these people do this? What overarching force forced these individuals to do this?
Back in February, Bruton was sentenced to 20 years in prison, followed by 10 years of probation for an armed carjacking he committed in August of 2022.
He was a teenager and he was already sentenced to 10 years. Somehow he got out early.
For an armed carjacking he committed in August of 2022. The defense called up Bruton's mother, grandpa, aunt, and grandma, who were all unaware of his criminal activity. His aunt apologized to the victim's family, saying everyone is losing something in this situation. And again, Taj Bruton was sentenced to life.
She said everyone is losing something in this situation. Let me ask you guys this question. Do you guys agree with that? Everyone is losing something in that situation?
In prison for the murders of Layla Silvernail, Camille Quarles, and Michael Hodo Jr. At 1:30, the last defendant in this case, Robert Robinson, is scheduled to be sentenced, and we will be in the courtroom. Live in Ocala, Kayla Lewis, TV 20 News.
Let me tell you something about Taj. Taj tell you he's gonna do something, and you decide not to do it with him, then I probably would have died with this.
So were you afraid of Taj that night? Because
if I did not do what Taj wanted me to do, I would have died that night with them.
You hear what he's now? You hear that? Now, here's my question. What do you guys think about this testimony here? Shout out to Carlton. Carlton says a combination of things contributed. Well, people claim that they want to deal with these type of things, right? So let's quote unquote deal with them. Let me know what the combinations of things are that contributed to this. Somebody let me know. Let me know what you guys think.
News.
Let me tell you something about Taj. Taj tell you even do something, and you decide not to do it with him, then I probably would have died with this.
So were you afraid of Taj that night? Because
if I did not do what Taj wanted me to do, I would have died that night with them.
Is that snitching right there? Hey, is that snitching? Shout out to AB. Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. If you guys agree with AB, AB said he put himself in that situation. If you guys agree with AB, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. And now he's singing. He's singing like a hummingbird.
Taj is that bad.
Well, that was footage that TV20 obtained from the interrogation of Robert Robinson. He claimed Bruton forced him to kill the victims. He's the final defendant set to be sentenced today during his hearing at 1:30. And yesterday, the youngest defendant in the case learned his sentence. 15-year-old Christopher Atkins was sentenced to 40 years for a triple murder in
15 years old, and you got a 40-year sentence because you deleted somebody. Let me ask you guys this question. How many people think that this crime would have taken place if they had high-frequency music playing there? If you guys think that this crime would have taken place if there was high-frequency music, give me a thumbs up. If you don't think that the crime would have taken place if there was high-frequency music playing, give me a thumbs down.
Ocklawaha. That is in 2023. TV20's Kayla Lewis was there yesterday, and she tells us what he said in court.
Now, I want to ask you guys another question. How much Bitcoin do you think these families own? Families of these individuals here. The Atkins family, the Bruton family, the Robinson family. How much Bitcoin do they possess?
Take your time.
An emotional day inside the Marion County Courthouse as 15-year-old Christopher Atkins was sentenced to 40 years in prison. He's eligible for a review after 25 years.
Three people they got their life taken away for no reason.
Atkins addressed the pack.
He said they got their life taken away for no reason. Well, why'd you do it then?
Courtroom, telling the victims' families he feels bad, but he never did say he was sorry.
I got a good soul, good mind, good heart. People think that I don't care. I do. I got a whole life ahead. People don't think.
Your whole life ahead of you is going to be spent in prison. Now, all these things that he's saying, I'm a good person, I got a good heart, I got a good mind. Where's the evidence of that? And this is one of the reasons why I don't believe in good and evil. Because someone can simply say something and it doesn't have to be consistent with reality.
He was sorry.
I got a good soul, good mind, good heart. People think that I don't care. I do. I got a whole life ahead. People don't think I care about the victims or their families. I do. I think about them, about them, how they feel, what they go through. I feel so bad. I feel so bad about them.
The state asked Judge Robert Hodges.
Why'd you do it then?
To give Atkins more than the minimum 40-year sentence because he deliberately committed armed robbery, knowing it was wrong. The defense pushed for the sentence he was given, saying he admitted to what he did and agreed to testify against the other two teens involved in this case, Robert Robinson and Taj Bruton.
What happened to all that hardcore stuff? What happened to all that hardcore stuff? They snitching. As soon as they get in front of the court, they snitching. Shout out to AB. AB said that was the best freestyle I heard in a long time. Bars, bars, bars. Yeah, shout out to, if you guys agree with Carlton, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. The attorney wrote the whole statement. Facts. Shout out to DJ Elmo. Action speaks louder than words. Super facts.
Really a good person. I want to be able to influence other people, do better in life, go places around the world, donate to places, cancer places, hospitals, all types of stuff, help the world as much as I can.
Family and friends.
Nah, if you doing this kind of stuff and you deleting people, man, you don't need to be going all over the world. You need to be going exactly where you going.
The victim, Layla Silvernail, made statements, but Judge Hodges said he could not let this testimony hold any weight because Atkins is only accused of shooting Camille Quarles. He first told detectives he was threatened by Bruton to shoot her, and if he didn't, they would kill his family, but later changed his story, saying it was Robinson who told him to do it. Atkins' aunt, mom, and cousin asked the judge for leniency and apologized to the victims' families. In Ocala, Kayla Lewis, TV 20 News.
Ask the judge for leniency for what? Here's my question. Ask the judge for leniency for what exactly? You understand? Now, again, right, we got to ask the question, who made these people do this? Who made these people do this?
Now, 2 teens will spend the rest of their lives in prison for a triple murder in Marion County. Robert Robinson was just sentenced.
Taj Bruton learned his punishment this morning. Both took a plea deal in the case. Fox 35's Marie Ettinger is hearing from the families of the people who were killed.
Family members spoke often through tears. The judge addressed these crimes too, calling them heinous and saying he didn't see any other possible sentence he could have given.
As painful as it is to say, I hope, may God forgive me, that the boys who did this are haunted every day by what they've done.
An emotional day in the courtroom, and gasps when new details came out about cell records showing.
Let me ask you guys this question. Do people that buy Bitcoin do shit like this? Let me ask you guys this question. Do people that buy Bitcoin do shit like this? So we got to start doing wallet policing. All right? We got to start doing wallet policing. Anytime we see a situation like this, we got to go, I'd be willing to bet that family has absolutely 0 Satoshis. It'll be no Satoshis every time. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Is that stereotyping? Is that stereotyping? If that's stereotyping, give me a thumbs up. If it's not, give me a thumbs up. Shout out to AB. AB noticed the code switching. What's up with the code switching? Think that's going to take a little bit of time off the prison sentence? It's code switching. We talked about the code switching yesterday. There you go. I'm going to code switch. Fascinating.
The murders may have been premeditated.
If we bang Sosa and Layla, you have to shoot the in the trunk.
Bruton was going to knock off my quota. Did he explain to you what he thought that meant? I believe he explained that to the other deputy or to the other detectives, but basically he said to kill him.
Court documents had revealed before the kids in this case were all riding around committing armed robberies, but up until now, we didn't know what led up to the shootings.
Now, shout out to Carlton. We got to stay on track. We got to stay focused with all of this stuff, right? When it comes to Crimecast, we're going to always frame this from here on out in terms of business, and we're going to ask, well, when it comes to these people, probably not very many Satoshis in the home. Probably not very many Satoshis in the home. What does that say? No, it's a pattern. You know what I'm saying? It's not any type of ism. It's pattern recognition.
The why was because of wanting a firearm that Mr. Hutto had.
A family member of one of the victims explained Michael Hutto was dating Layla Silvernail. They were friends with Camille Quarles. Hutto had previously had some beef with the defendants in this case, Christopher Atkins, Taj Bruton.
Wait a minute. Wait. He was dating one of them. So he was dating the softball chick and then deleted her. I want to make sure everybody sees this and hears this. Facts. Throw some flames in the chat for AB. AB says, when we're rich in 10 years, I won't feel sorry for them. They chose their path and I'm choosing mine. And I'm going to use my wealth to make more wealth by getting rid of people like that. Shout out to Carlton. Carlton said, I know black people with good jobs who know how to use a computer and still don't have any Bitcoin. You can see those type of people right on YouTube. They use their good computers to stream about how it's the market of beast and such. Now, let me ask you guys this question. If Bitcoin is the market of beast, what would you say something like this is right here? Is this God's work? Is this God's plan like Drake? And God's plan, and God's plan, and God's plan, God's plan, God's plan. I'ma kill him for no reason. These bitches barely breathing. I would get up with y'all, but I'm doing life and I ain't leaving. It's God's plan. And it's God's plan, God's plan. Y'all like that? Y'all like that?
Wanting a firearm that Mr. Hutto had.
A family member of one of the victims explained Michael Hutto was dating Layla Silvernail. They were friends with Camille Quarles. Hutto had previously had some beef with the defendants in this case, Christopher Atkins, Taj Bruton, and Robert Robinson.
I asked him why he was friends with them. Again, his reply, you don't understand. These Waha boys don't play. This is the only way I stay safe, is to be friends again.
Investigators say the 3 suspects and 3 victims were hanging out. These are all 16 and 17-year-olds we're talking about, except for one 12-year-old, Chris Atkins. Bruton shot and killed Hutto. Robinson shot and killed Silvernail. Then Atkins says Robinson threatened to kill him if he didn't shoot Quarles. She survived, so Robinson shot her a second time.
How old were these kids with all these face tattoos? Now, I would ask the question about if these guys were getting pussy or not, but clearly one of them was. One of them was even fucking a victim. Shout out to Carlton. Carlton says they're like 14 years old. How do you get face tattoos at 14? Who is Amaya? If we act like we don't see it, then maybe it doesn't exist. Then maybe it doesn't exist. This dude killed his girlfriend. Like, not this dude, but one of these dudes killed their girlfriends to be down with the team. Now, I mean, I guess the pussy that he was in didn't determine what he chose, right? Let me ask you guys this question. Did the pussy that this individual or one of these individuals, the Atkins individual, did the pussy that he was in determine who he chose? That's the girlfriend. This is who he deleted the girlfriend and her friends with. Guess there goes that theory.
I have watched my son reflect on his actions with shame, regret, and heartbreak.
Robinson and Bruton both pleaded no contest. The judge says they'll spend the rest of their lives behind bars.
And they're never gonna have an adult life. Shout out to Lunch. Lunch says, "Is that a Morgan Freeman quote?" No, it's a YouTube counter question to a YouTube talking point. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not going to make excuses for it or blame anybody but myself. I just want to apologize.
Atkins pleaded guilty to murder and was sentenced to 40 years in prison, the mandatory minimum.
I think that is the best justice that we could have hoped for.
A psychologist also spoke, talking about how these are juveniles. Their brains aren't fully formed. That affects their ability to make decisions. Because they're juveniles, they will have the ability to appeal their sentence in 25 years.
If the brains aren't fully formed, then, juveniles tend to do stupid stuff like, drive fast and do pranks and stuff like that. And, there's a lot of juveniles that go to proms and go to homecomings. Let me ask you guys this question. Do the majority of juveniles delete the person that they're dating? Interesting. Interesting, yes. I think it's very, very interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Now, I want to ask you guys this question. Why do you guys think that this ain't viral all over YouTube? Why do you think this isn't viral all over YouTube? And we gotta criticize some people about the coverage, don't we? We've gotta criticize some people about the coverage of this. We should watch the entire court sentence on this. How many people would say that? How many people would say that Fox News and New York Post have done a horrible job covering this? If you guys would say that Fox News and New York Post have done a horrible job covering this, give me a thumbs up. If you guys wouldn't, give me a thumbs down. Because I know everybody watches Fox News. Because everybody watches Fox News to keep up with what's going on with the migrants. Because you're not going to see that kind of stuff anywhere else unless you watch certain YouTube channels. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to AB. It's not the right narrative. Shout out to Carlton. Carlton said it doesn't fit the narrative. Shout out to DJ Elmo. DJ Elmo says it ain't a viral case of selective outrage. Folks investing heavy in tether wars versus FBA. Yeah. This could be looked at as quote unquote tether versus FBA. Right? Could be. Could look at it like that in a certain situation. Shout out to Jesse. Jesse says because it's black on black crime, nobody wants to make it go viral. I would tend to disagree. You know what I'm saying? Some people make the argument and say that there's a lot of quote unquote crimes against white people. Right? This is a crime against a white person. You know what I'm saying? Even them people didn't make it viral. So do they really care? They're busy dealing with Epstein. You know what I'm saying? They're busy dealing with Epstein. Shout out to AB. AB says the tether wars are popping right now on YouTube. The tether wars is wild on a continent far away, long time ago. Oh man, the tether wars. Oh man. Whoo!
Well, we are continuing to stay on top of breaking news happening in Marion County. 2 teenagers, 2 life sentences for crime spree that cut 3 young lives short back in 2023. Channel 9's Nick Campantonis reports from the Marion County Courthouse, where the judge finally asked the question many people wanted the answer to.
After more than a day of listening to how these teenagers turned on one another, the judge questioned a witness himself, and we learned this was all because...
Look at how they turned on each other. He highlighted how the teenagers turned on each other. Let me ask you guys this question. Is that genetic? If that's genetic, give me a thumbs up. If it's not genetic, give me a thumbs down.
Because somebody wanted somebody else's gun.
We will not tolerate violence from anybody, whether they're juveniles or adults.
Prosecutors solemn as they praised the 2 life sentences given to 2 Marion County teenagers who murdered their friends. Robert Robinson and Taj Bruton will serve at least 23 years for killing Layla Silvernail, Camille Quarles, and Michael Hodo before being eligible for parole, which the families hope will never happen.
I respectfully ask that you ensure that they never see the light of day outside prison walls.
Prosecutors say the shootings happened as the group committed a robbery spree. Detectives testifying Robinson and Bruton turned on their friends because Bruton wanted one of the victim's guns and prepared to betray him for weeks.
Was there anything particularly unusual about the other guy?
The sentences came a day after the judge gave a 40-year sentence to the 3rd and youngest defendant, Christopher Atkins, who was 12 at the time. He and Robinson's family...
Christopher Atkins is 12. He's doing a life sentence. He's 12. And he was dating one of the girls that got killed. Shout out to AB. AB said, Rob got the visual when you hit the Star Wars theme song. Bro, that's hilarious. They was on the planet Tatooine in the bar. And the dude at the bar was like, I don't like him. His hairline doesn't add up. Hey, ease off. He's a young Jedi. It was a mistake. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're sorry? You'll be dead. Oh, man, then the lightsaber come out. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Oh, man. He said, are you ready, nigga? He said, he's just a young one. Don't mind him. Yeah, I'm sorry. You sorry? You'll be dead.
They say both have a chance of being rehabilitated.
With the right structure, guidance, and accountability, I believe he can make something of his life again.
I made bad choices. It ain't no excuses for my choices. I'm not gonna make excuses for it or blame anybody but myself. I just want to apologize.
At this point, the earliest any of the 3 could be eligible for parole is 2048. In Ocala, Nick Campantonis, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Yeah, we'll be billionaires by then. 2048. The choices that we make will have us in the rich house. The choices that these clowns made to have them in the halfway house. I made the choices. I made the stupid choices. Yeah. Gonna pull it out. That barrel in the mouth. In the prison, in and out. 2048 being a halfway house. I made the choices. You know what I'm saying? Do it like a YN. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, the only way that their prison sentence will be complete is if while they're in prison, they have to get medical care from this individual right here. From this individual right here. Yeah, shout out to DJ Elmo. DJ Elmo says 2048. Damn, a lot of us will be in our 60s and 70s. Yeah, possibly. Chronologically, I got this feeling that by that time, the technology will have people in their suspended 30s through 50s, because you're actually kind of seeing that now. You know what I'm saying? But that's just an assumption. We'll see. Now look at this right here.
A Georgia woman is charged with posing as a nurse in multiple states using fake IDs and licenses to get jobs caring for patients, even though she
said, I'm a nar. I'm a nar. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's 6. A Georgia woman is charged with posing as a nurse in multiple states using fake IDs and licenses to get jobs caring for patients, even though she has no real nursing credentials. Here's a look at the mugshot. Channel 2 consumer investigator Justin Gray live now at the Attorney General's office. And Justin, authorities here in Georgia have been on.
All right, we got to run it down the line. Who made her do it? Who made her do it? Yo, listen, shout out to these string pullers, man, because these are some of the most these are some of the most skilled string pullers that have ever come into the game. I mean, these people are out here making people do stuff, and we have no clue. I mean, like, we have no clue who it is that's making these people do any of this stuff. Shout out to Carlton Wade. Carlton Wade says, just like the guy Brian Johnson who plans to live forever. I don't know about a Brian Johnson. I'm going to have to look into that guy. How does he, quote unquote, plan on living forever? That's interesting. Look, the planet Earth ain't even going to live forever. You know what I'm saying? How is he? And then again, you got to ask the question, if you quote unquote live forever, does that constitute you as actually being alive? Because part of the criteria, part of the qualification of life is that at some point there has to be death. So if there's no death, you have to question, is this the same event as life? You know what I'm saying?
Since 2022.
Yeah, George, back in 2022 is when the Georgia Attorney General tried to issue a cease and desist letter to this woman, but that's when she hit the road to other states. Now, this arrest affidavit in Pennsylvania details that at multiple medical facilities she was terminated for wrongdoing, for allegedly stealing medication, but at the time, those facilities had no idea this person did not have an actual nurse's license. Shannon Nicole.
How did they not have any idea she didn't have a nurse's license? I mean, you're supposed to check when people... All states have what's called a quote unquote credentialing agency. They have a credentialing database, right? And all you have to do is just check the credentialing database. So how can these people use the excuse? Well, we didn't know that she wasn't a nurse. How do they use that excuse? Let me ask you guys this question. Should her and the facilities that she worked for be held equally liable for any damages caused to patients as a result of her being an imposter? If they should, give me a thumbs up. If they should not, then give me a thumbs down. And shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell, and also please share the stream to your social media.
Womack's name and picture have been right there on the Georgia Secretary of State's public nurse imposter alert warning page since 2022. She knew you all were on the hunt for her here, so she went and just took it up in a different state.
Hiding out in another state. She figured she's far enough away in Pennsylvania. That's probably what, a 12-hour drive up to Pittsburgh. And she's going to be safe, but she wasn't.
But Womack was hiding in plain sight, allegedly using a string of names and aliases to pose as a nurse at nursing homes and healthcare facilities across 6 states. It was only Womack's expired Georgia tag that finally put an end to it.
Lack of maintenance, lack of maintenance, lack of maintenance. Didn't keep up her property. And as a result of not keeping up her property, this is what ultimately caused her criminal demise. Now, I want to ask you guys this question. What kind of vehicle do you think that Georgia plate was attached to?
After patient prescription drugs were found in her car during a traffic stop in Pennsylvania. The probable cause affidavit alleges investigators discovered Womack had, quote, 20 different aliases that she's utilized, along with 7 different social security number combinations.
Now, here's my question. Again, who made her do this? Who made her do this, ladies and gentlemen?
This goes to public health and public safety.
Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, who oversees the nursing board, tells me the board turned Womack's case over to the Georgia Attorney General 3 years ago.
This goes back to 2022. We were getting a lot of complaints, the licensing board, and started doing a deep dive and actually got a cease and desist order, but she had fled the state.
Just in the Pittsburgh area alone, Womack worked as an LPN, RN, and RN supervisor at 7 different facilities using a variety of fake identities. Authorities say she passed background checks in part because she, quote, went so far as creating her own staffing agencies, which was not legitimate, in order to pick up shifts.
Now, how do you go so far as to do all of that? Now, let me ask you guys this. What's more difficult, buying Bitcoin or what she did? You know how people act like they just can't figure out how to buy Bitcoin? What's more difficult, figuring out how to do everything that she did or buying Bitcoin? Let me know in the comment section.
Was going through proper host agency channels and then created her own as like her own fake secretary, answering a phone call, giving it to herself.
Raffensperger says a nationwide nurse shortage puts facilities like nursing homes at particular risk to imposters.
Well, it's a real shortage of nurses, and I'm really grateful that we're really leaned into that in Georgia to get more through the nursing program, but there's a shortage. So that means that, people are desperate to find someone with a licensed credentialed nurse.
And according to these court papers, Womack only lasted a matter of days at many of these facilities before being dismissed. She's now behind bars in Pennsylvania, where she faces a long list of charges. Now, we have asked the Georgia Attorney General's office if she's facing charges here. If more charges are coming in Georgia, we're still waiting on that response. When we find out more, we'll bring it to you. We're live in downtown Atlanta at the Attorney General's office. Justin Gray, Channel 2 Action.
What do you guys think about that? Now, again, it's interesting. It's the questions that we never seem to be able to get. It's the questions that we never seem to be able to get the answer to. And the questions that we're never able to get the answer to is, who made these people do this stuff? Why is it that we can never figure out who made these people do these stuff? Shout out to Carlton. Carlton said doing what she did is more difficult than buying Bitcoin. Okay. There's that. Right? There's that. Now, there's a fight outside of a business. Let me ask you guys this question. What do fights outside of business do for the business? Does that invite customers? Does that invite the type of crowd that you want at your business?
Busy investigating a fight outside of a business. You could call it a brawl. Police say just before 8 o'clock last night, they were called to MLK and North.
It happened near MLK. Oh, that MLK, that wouldn't happen to be. Dare I say it? That wouldn't happen to be. Martin Luther King, would it?
He's also busy investigating a fight outside of a business. You could call it a brawl. Police say just before 8 o'clock last night, they were called to MLK and North. They responded to a large fight and they broke up the crowd. We removed the audio because of the excessive profanity. No one was hurt. However, medics were called for people who were dealing with asthma and panic attacks.
If you got asthma, what are you doing? What are you doing? You got asthma. And I guarantee the people with asthma were just smoking everything known to man. They playing windmill with each other's shirts. Somebody help me. I'm having an asthma attack. Somebody called an ambulance.
Busy investigating a fight outside of a business. You could call it a brawl. Police say just before 8 o'clock.
Now look, they were winded.
Last night, they were called to MLK and North.
They playing Ring Around the Roses.
They responded to a large fight and they broke up the crowd. We removed the audio because of the excessive profanity. No one was hurt. However, medics were called for people who were dealing.
Somebody give me an inhaler, like seriously?
With asthma and panic attacks.
I hope that the youth understand that what they did yesterday was embarrassing. It was very embarrassing. And like, if any of the parents like seen their kids on there, I hope that they, discipline them accordingly because it has to stop.
Police did not make any arrests.
Police did not make any arrests. Police didn't make any arrests. That should make everybody happy, right? If you're happy because police didn't make any arrests, give me a thumbs up. If you're not, then give me a thumbs down.
State Capitol Police, they're searching for a man in connection to an attempt to go inside a state representative's home. This is the man that police are looking for. Officials say last night this shirtless guy tried to get into Priscilla Prado's Milwaukee home. He was caught on surveillance camera, as you can see there. Officials say he tried to open the door, walked around the property before leaving. He was not able to get inside. If you know who this guy is, police would love to hear from you. Give him a call. And State Representative Prado releasing a statement tonight saying, in part, this has been a deeply unsettling experience, and I appreciate the influx of concern. I respectfully ask for privacy and patience as law enforcement continues its work.
Let's turn to our weather now and get ready for a rise. And we mean a steep rise.
So, yeah, there's that, right? So, as usual, unfortunately, we didn't get any direct answers to our inquiries, right? We didn't get any answers to our inquiries. The questions that we always are asking is, who made the people do this? Why are people making the choice to do this? And nothing. So let me ask you guys this question. Which media is lying? Which media is lying? Living and setting up a business in any of these areas where these type of things take place, is it something that you would do? Now, again, we need to ask this question. Why aren't people outraged by all this stuff? People always pick strange. Shout out to Carlton. People always pick strange outrage. Oh, and the last question. All these stories that we've talked about, everything that we've watched on the entire channel, are all these people tethers?
We have new details just into our newsroom about the kidnapping of a 7-year-old Milwaukee boy.
We know several people are already in custody, and this morning, another person faces charges.
Our very own Bowen Kudrevich is joining us now live outside of the Milwaukee County Courthouse. Bowen is digging into this case, which we are learning, Bowen, has a whole lot of layers.
Hey, good morning. We're learning that somebody new came through court over the weekend. Fabian Johnson is charged with kidnapping, a party to a crime. Police say he was involved with 2 others in a plan to rob the boy's mother, a quote, well-known drug dealer. She is in custody too. We'll get to that in a minute. But first, if you're just joining us, on July 11th,
The boy's mother, a well-known drug dealer. Uh-oh. The hairline mafia is about to come for Carlton. We must protect Carlton at all costs. The hairline mafia gonna come for you, bro. The hairline mafia is gonna come for you. You know what I'm saying?
the police say Fabian Johnson and 2 others waited for the boy's mother at her home. After they did not see her, they drove in front of a home near 61st and Eustis. Surveillance video shows a child riding a bike along the street. The father of the child says people with guns jumped out of the white Jeep and took his son. Investigators say the group held the child for ransom, adding they called the mother demanding $100,000 and some jewelry. The mother never showed. Police.
I want you guys to watch this video because as you guys watch the video, there's an adult that was with the boy, right? And the adult that was with the boy left the boy for dead and ran into the house. Watch this.
Found the child safe the next day in the home of a man named Corey Williams. He was.
You see, look, see the guy going into the house. See the boy. There's a guy outside watching the boy, right? Instead of protecting the boy, the guy runs into the house. That's the warrior class right there. That's the warrior class right there. Shout out to Alonda. Alonda said, Rob, where they family from? Milwaukee. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. Look. Watch.
In the home of a man named Corey Williams. He was.
Now you see the guy. When somebody is coming after a kid or your kid, you don't run in the opposite direction. He was hightailing it too. Man, he was running so fast, his knees got up by his ears. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see this? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. He was a track star that day.
In the home of a man named Corey Williams. He was charged last week. The mother of the child, Siobhan Williams, was also arrested. Police say she did not cooperate with detectives, slowing down their efforts to find her son.
Why she didn't cooperate? She freckled up like Domino from the New Mutants. You know, that's Deadpool's homegirl. She freckled up. You know what I'm saying? She on that 1738. You know what I'm saying? Now this is the mom. The mom didn't cooperate. And whoever the male was here, man, he high-kneed back into the house. Man, he fled. Hey, this is what fleeing looks like. Anybody want to see a live action video of what fleeing looks like? Now, they're coming for the child and the warrior flees into the house. Watch this.
Safe the next day in the home of a man named Corey Williams. He was charged last week.
Is that fleeing? If that's fleeing, give me a thumbs up. If that's not fleeing, give me a thumbs down.
The mother of the child, Siobhan Williams, was also arrested. Police say she did not cooperate with detectives, slowing down their efforts to find her son. She has not yet been charged. We also know a 14-year-old has been arrested in connection.
Mother of the year
To this kidnapping case. That 14-year-old is scheduled to be in court today. Follow us on Fox 6 as we unravel the details of this case. In Milwaukee, Bowen Kudrovich, Fox 6 News.
Right, new this morning, we're taking a live look now at the Milwaukee River along Water Street.
All right, so there's that beautiful Milwaukee River. That actually looks nice. I wonder how the nightlife is there. See, they got the boats docked over there. Listen, if we ever go hang out, we kick it in Milwaukee. Sorry, poor people. We've got to buy out like 100-mile radius and have it blocked off by the police, so no poor people, poverty, and peasants can get into where we're partying at. You know what I'm saying? You have to stay away from pollen, poverty, peasants, and poor people. So if that, yeah, shout out to Carlton. If you know, right? That look like a nice little spot to lounge at. Unfortunately, because of the conditions that we live in and the world that we live in, we have to make sure that we have enough money to be able to price human vermin out of being able to contaminate our party areas. Okay. Shout out to everybody that came through, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, take a moment, hit that bell icon twice, smash the like button, share this stream to your social media. And as always, ladies and gentlemen,
this year, jump out the crib, stack up my C-note this year, killing my ego this year, all for the people this year, only believe in the real, I do believe in no fear, and I got gang in this bitch, I never switch on the tribe, I keep it all the way real, I'm in control of my feels, you see my highlights and study my reel, yeah. I'm showing more love this year, running more plays, finna scale up my business this year, the world in my palm, I'm a star, I deliver my cadence, I'm serving up chills to my peers, bringing the bread for the fam, everything good on the side, everything coming together. New whip, no leash, no key in it, they heat it. California on the plate, I'm out here playing but keep it. I pull up, she leaking, she want me for the weekend. My foot on the gas with the brakes, hate me or love me, you see me. Flex, yes, I got my foot on their neck. I'm out with a squad to the death, young nigga get to the checks. Flex, yes, got nothing to lose and something to prove. Young nigga come from the trench. Cuban links on my neck, tanking, freeze, smoking on dope, that diesel. Freeze, running till I miss my season. Laid back, geeky, smoking on dope, that diesel. Young nigga gone off the deep end, running till I miss my season. I keep a stack of them blessings, I'm ballin', I'm playing callin'. They chain on me matching my smile, you know that I stay saucing. Wrist flooded, she drowning. We good on this side, everything coming together. New whip, no leash, no key in it, they heat it. California on the plates, I'm out here playing but keep it. I pull up, she leaking, she want me for the weekend. My foot on the gas with the brakes, hate me or love me, you see me. Flex, yes, I got my foot on their neck. I'm out with a squad to the death, young nigga get to the checks. Flex, yes, got nothing to lose and something to prove. Young nigga come from the trench. Cuban links on my neck, tanking, freeze, smoking on dope, that diesel. Freeze, running till I miss my season. Laid back, geeky, smoking on dope, that diesel. Young nigga gone off the deep end, running till I miss my season.
Once we understand that it is through our five senses that these imprints are being made on our subconscious mind, we can then consciously begin to utilize our five senses to imprint something different.